Good evening, YouTube, and welcome to the Piper Report. Donald Trump wants to break up the Ninth Circuit Appellate Court, and I totally agree. Now, to do so, though, he would have to get legislation passed from Congress, and we know the Democrats would filibuster that. And the reason they would filibuster that is because the Ninth Circuit is stacked with progressive judges that Obama and Harry Reid concocted up a whole little plot there to appoint these judges into positions that could have a direct impact on American democracy and the ethos of American culture. It's that simple. So the Democrats would never go along with this. Anything that threatens their power, they will filibuster and they will fight to the end. And the thing with the Democrats is that they have the whole media to back them up. And as we know now from past experience, and most recently with Bill O'Reilly, those on the right always acquiesce to the left's demands. If they would even try, if Donald Trump would try to get legislation through Congress to break up the Ninth District Court, the Democrats would freak out and the GOP would acquiesce in a second. It would happen. So there has to be a lot of support actually to break up that Ninth District Court. And the reason why is because, like I said earlier, the judges on there are all progressives. And this most recent judge is Judge Orrick. All right, here's some things about Judge Orrick. Not only did he work for John Kerry, he also did fundraising for John Kerry, and he raised over $1 million for John Kerry in San Francisco alone. Then in 2007, when John Kerry decided not to run, Orrick and a dozen or so other lawyers, remember, Orrick was a lawyer at the time here, Orrick and a dozen other so lawyers decided to back Obama. This was before Obama even announced his presidency. So Orrick and a bunch of lawyers backed Obama, and he became what's called a bundler for Obama. And what he did, he fundraised for Obama. He actually earned, or he, I guess you could say fundraised, over $200,000 for Obama. And now, this was shown by a watchdog group called Public Citizen, and they have records of it. And they also said he is a bundler. And what a bundler is essentially was what I just kind of said there with fundraising stuff. It's someone who works for the campaign of somebody going into political office. But what separates a bundler from, I guess you could say, other positions is that they usually receive preferential treatment then after that candidate wins their elected seats. So we know now we have a judge, Judge Orrick, who denied Donald Trump's sanctuary city order, who was appointed on the 9th District by Obama, who used a nuclear option with Harry Reid, and Judge Orrick is a progressive, and he thinks the Constitution is malleable, and he's one of those people that cares more about the rights of illegal immigrants instead of American citizens. Now, this is all fact. You can look this up. So, Donald Trump has a lot of support to break up the 9th District, because any kind of judge that can rule over 20% of the population, over 60 million people, is a threat to democracy, especially when that 9th District Court acts like oligarchs who don't believe in the separation of powers, who don't believe in 3 branches of government. Instead, they believe that it's their job to legislate from the bench. It's their job to make sure Donald Trump toes the line, even though Donald Trump's policies aren't even that radical to begin with. There's nothing radical about Donald Trump's policies. The wall was passed in 2006, just didn't get funded. Deporting immigrants, Obama deported millions. He deported more immigrants than Bush did. And it should be noted that they are illegal immigrants, not immigrants. Despite what Shepard Smith said, now I have to tell you the story. This is way back when in the campaign, but Shepard Smith, he's an idiot that works for Fox News. He was doing an interview with somebody, and he said, Donald Trump, I'm not really a fan of him because I don't like how he wants to deport all Mexicans. It's like, oh my God. People actually believe that. Like, Donald Trump's going to deport all Mexicans. Essentially what that says is that is either really racist because you are assuming that all illegal immigrants are Mexicans, or what that also says is that you are too stupid to realize that he wasn't talking about immigrants, but illegal immigrants. So big difference there. And Trump has other policies that people have been doing for years. He wants to build the military, which is a callback essentially to Reagan and even Bush Sr. I mean, he wants to cut funding in the EPA and the education department, stuff like that, there's nothing radical about his ideas. What is radical are those who perceive his ideas as radical. And they are doing that because they are brainwashed, because they are manipulated by the media and by leftist sources who they trust to be honest and have integrity. And that, I think, is the biggest problem with the leftist view, is that there's a lot of leftists who actually believe that Donald Trump wants to take over the world, who wants to be a fascist. And they actually believe that judges like Judge Orwick and other judges on the Ninth District are doing this for the good of America. And it breaks my heart. No, but seriously, it's just so ugly. This country is really, really going down a shitter. And people like Judge Orwick are the reason why. And I support this. We have to dismantle and destroy the Ninth District. Not destroy it, but break it up. Break it up into separate entities. They should not have so much power, the power they do. And I'm done.